If you're hanging out with the same negative people that you grew up with, guess what your day is going to be like?
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Scott Eddy. Previously, episode 451 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It was just about 2 years, 8 months, 8 days, and 15 minutes ago when we last spoke.
I think that meeting new people outside your immediate circle from around the world, I think it expands your brain. I think it expands your horizon. It expands your opportunities.
That was then. This is now. Scott, how are you doing?
My God, has it been that long?
It has. Oh, let's not do that again, right?
I'm doing good, man. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to connect with you, my friend. The last time we spoke, I think you were in Europe. I think so. Where are you in the world today?
Right now, I'm in Miami. I'm in Florida.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, our conversation led from so many topics, from Twitter, what you do there, your father, your network, just a ton of things. Let's dive in, first of all, to how you promote other people.
Well, I built up a very good size audience across all my social media platforms. And I basically do social media campaigns where I work out with a brand to do a mini campaign for them. So I'll travel to the destination and I'll either be working with an airline, a hotel, or a destination. And it depends on the deliverables. Everyone is a little bit different, but essentially they rent my audience for X amount of time. I don't know how to put it any simpler. That's basically what I do.
Yeah, it's simple. Like Scott comes to your place, he shares with his audience, and then people follow.
Now, the funny thing is most of the people on social media, they do that and then it ends. That is actually not even 10% of my revenue that I bring in. That only opens up the relationship for more things. I build out digital strategies. I do a lot of consulting. I do a lot of workshops. I speak at a lot of events across the world. It's endless. I do these video packages with my videographer who's just insane. If you saw the last few videos I posted on Instagram, he's just like a rock star. There's a lot of different things that go underneath the umbrella, but the social media obviously gets me the exposure and opens the door to allow me to present other services that we do.
It's fascinating how the concept of investment banking has stayed true to your life after a decade being in that and then moving to Europe and Asia for 17 years. You are making an investment in others, and in so doing, you've been able to create the platform to consult because you're seeing all of these places, right? And then you can help other people. Hey, like this could go here, or this could increase your revenue, or la, 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 and it goes on. Isn't it fascinating how you stayed true to that concept of investment and how necessary it is?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's all sales. I'm selling myself, I'm selling my lifestyle, I'm selling everything. And at the end of the day, if you're opening your mouth, you're selling something. You may not realize it, but sales is at the core to everything that we see and do every day. And all sales is not that hard-nosed sell where you bang somebody over the head, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's a lot of times it's that subliminal sell, where you're just presenting an idea and you're just throwing it out there, and it's a very light sell where you're just making people fall in love with. So I was just in Grenada, and you and I both know Grenada very well, but the rest of the world does not. I like to think of Grenada as a hidden gem because they're not so widely known. They're not so, the over tourism hasn't hit them yet. They're not one of the most popular places on the cruise routes. So the cruise industry has basically toppled them. I like those kind of places. So when I was there, I was getting loads of message like, Grenada was never on our bucket list, but it is now. Wow, thanks for sharing. I never heard of this island before in my life. Or, just crazy statements like that. But that really makes me feel good when I'm at a destination and I see those type of messages.
Now, one of the other things that you've gotten the opportunity to do, and I know this is amazing because I've gotten the opportunity to do it, is to meet people virtually via your social media platform and then get to meet them physically. How's that been going?
Well, I'll tell you that I'd say 70 to 80% of the people in my life I've met digitally and then turned them into real relationships that we've met in real life. Or we've just stayed on digital forever just because it's inconvenient to meet. But most of the people in my life I met that way. And personally, I'd rather meet somebody that way than in real life. It's not that I don't value the real life meetings, and I do. I seriously love looking somebody in the eye and having a conversation with them. I love that just as much as the digital aspect. It's just when I connect with somebody on digital, I can look at their platforms, I can look at their conversations, I can look at the way they post, I can look at the mutual friends, and I know about them in 90 seconds. A lot of times in real life, skeletons come out of the closet 18 months later that you didn't know were there. I'm not saying that doesn't happen on digital, of course it can, but it's much more likely in real life. I've had that happen much less on the digital side than in real life.
Now, I've traveled probably 1% of the amount you've traveled, and I know that it takes work. I know it takes work, it takes a healthy mind, it takes a healthy body. Are you still waking up at 5 a.m. every morning?
Every single morning, 7 days a week.
And it's really fascinating. Some people do look at it and they think, hey, you're living the lifestyle, right? But how do you handle the mental side of what it takes, the mental agility? How do you train your mental agility for what you're seeing and transitioning from, if you would?
I have a serious addiction of developing new relationships all around the world. For me, I want to meet as many people as I can in as many countries as I can, as quickly as I can. And I just use social media and tourism industry as a tool to get me there. They're nothing more than tools. It's the way you look at things. It's definitely the people you keep closest to you. That has a lot to do with your mindset. If you're hanging out with the same negative people that you grew up with, guess what your day is going to be like? You know, if you don't surround yourself with optimism and positive and people that are bringing you up, you're going to be down there just like that. So I vet and go through my audience. I go through who I'm friends with on Facebook, who I'm following, and who's following me on Instagram. I go through them. I don't know. If it's not daily, it's every other day. I unfollow people and block people a lot and friend new people. So I'm always trying to develop those new relationships, always.
Now there's something new coming out. Something on Lifetime. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so about 6 months ago, I guess, I signed on to be the TV host for the new travel show that's coming out on Lifetime TV called Video Globetrotter. And this is, this is the epitome. This is the top of the mountain for most people in the travel world. And, it's very cool. It's very cool. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, well done, well done. And you have a great face for TV as well. The smile, love the smile. Oh, well, folks, I'll let you know, though, it's a Caribbean smile he has. Yeah, it is half the amount, right? With the Jamaican. Yeah, right in there. But some Michigan, but Jamaican definitely. For like 75% in there. But Scott, I want to say thank you, my friend. It's a really grand pleasure to have the opportunity to be a podcast accountability partner and, to check back in and to hear that you are not just doing what you were doing, but it's been growing tremendously. It's a real great pleasure to check that. It's inspirational. It's motivational. So thank you for that. In closing, my friend, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Keep doing what you're doing, bro. The consistency that you're pushing out episodes it's impressive. Seriously, a lot of people quit along the way, but you're going, and it's unbelievable. I had no idea that you had that many episodes when you said it when I was 400 something. That's incredible.
Yeah,
it's really incredible, bro.
I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Again, you can connect with Scott at Mr. Scott Eddy. Don't forget the Mr. Right? My friend, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.